So welcome back to the channel. I've not been posting in years, let's be serious here. But today I'm going to show you how to take this flange, and swap it for something that looks much better, a lot stronger and a lot easier to use. So from flange to V-band, that's what we're going to be doing today. Woo!
So we'll start off by swapping over the gas, as you can see there at the start. Now swapping over the MIG wire, putting a new 0.8 end on, and that is me just testing, make sure everything's working. Pretty sure the welder jammed there, so again testing, and that's more or less it.
So after testing the welder, we managed to get set up. I mean, it's no bad, the welds. I'll show you it now. Started off not the greatest, as you can see, and then we progressively got better with it. This is stainless wire. I'm used to using steel wire with a copper coating on it, which is sitting in there. That is absolutely awesome. But we're getting there. I'm going to show you how to cut this flange off on the exhaust and then weld in a V-band, which I've got over here. Weld in one of these. So we are replacing this flange here, because these are old and tired, with a nice new V-band which will replace that. It'll allow for easy access, removal of exhaust. It's also a lot stronger, get that one off as well. This one will be coming off as well. This one's actually blowing here, as you can see. That's one of the main reasons that this is getting done. There'll be another one that will go in here. I'll put another one here. And then last but not least, the final one will go in the back here. Today we will be focusing on this one here. Nice and simple. I've ordered another couple of these, so until they come I can't do anything with it. So I'm going to show you how to weld and fit the V-band plus the clamp onto your exhaust. So first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to cut right on this bolt line right here and here because the V-band itself, as you can see, is more or less the exact same width from bolt hole to bolt hole. So if we cut it through here and through here, that'll allow the gap for the new V-band to go in. That should be relatively straightforward. You can cut this off many ways. We could remove the whole exhaust, use a grinder, cut it off. Or I think what we're going to do is get the rip saw, which I've got there. We've got a stainless blade. We're just going to cut right through. Nice and simple, nice and easy. And then always make sure when you're welding, you're going to buff all this clean, because if you didn't, your welds are just going to look absolutely tatty and it's a waste of time. So always make sure to clean the metal that you're welding. I'll show you that just in a minute.
So start off, rip saw, as I say, it just cuts through the two bits, as you can see that it's there. There's my orbital sander, just buffing up the ends.
Right, I know before I get slandered in the comments here, should have just used the grinder to buff that, it's quicker. Right, I know it's quicker, right, I know. But this is exactly why my car wins shows. Nice orbital sander, probably just do the rest of the exhaust. Same with this. This is 80 grit here on that. I'll probably just leave it on 80 grit because I don't really want to be spending hours polishing an exhaust. One that you'll never see, but two, 80 grit looks pretty fucking cool in my opinion. So now that that's cut off and cleaned up, what you want to do is you want to put your back box or whatever your like 2 bits of section, you want to get all lined up where you want it. So I'm going to put my back box back up, centre it in obviously the cutout here, and then I'll get it all set, put the V-band up in place, tack it in, and then that way you can look at it, you can adjust it, you can do what you want with it. Obviously putting another couple of wee tacks on it, make sure that it's not going anywhere, and you can remove the section, weld it all up, and then you put it back up one last time, check it all, and then you can bolt it up, and that's it, done. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I also did find another V-band. This one's better, about 13mm nut on that one. M10 or M8 I think it is, that is. Whereas this one's an M6. And also I'm pretty sure this clamp is knackered. But nonetheless, I think I've got a spare clamp there anyway, so that's not an issue. So I could get the centre section or the centre clamp done as well. Anyways, nonetheless, what we're going to do right now is get the back box back up, get it all tacked in, make sure everybody's happy with it, and then pull the exhaust off, weld it up, fit it all back up, make sure everything's fine, and then that's essentially you done. It's not too difficult, it's just a wee bit time consuming. Obviously, you've got to get your welder set up, stuff like that. I've, as I said before, went for steel wire with copper coating to a stainless wire, so it's slightly different for what I'm used to, but nonetheless, we'll get it done, and here we go. Also, my wheels are getting ceramic coated. They are sick. And there's a skyline in the back. That's just had a whole bunch of work done as well. Came up while we're here, I'll show you under the bonnet just because it's sick. I can open it. Coolest car ever. Minus that, that's the coolest car ever. This is the second coolest car. Let's get back to fixing this exhaust.
So as you can see, back box is back up on the hangers, using a wee stand there just to assist me a little bit. What I'll just do is, so if you weld the V-bands on and they're squint, then you put it back up, everything's going to be squint. So what you're wanting to do is, as I'm doing here, use the stands, get everything where you want it, and then what it means is you put the V-bands on, like so, tack them on, and that means everything is straight and where you want it to be.
So now it's tacked on. Tacked on, clamps finger tight. You can see right here, oh, right there, and here we've got a couple of tacks. I think there's one on either side here. There we go, a couple of tacks here. There's no weight on any of my stands. The exhaust looks near enough bang on exactly where I want it. So now what to do? Obviously it's a lot easier for me because I've got proper welder and proper stands and a ramp that I can use. But if you're doing this at home on the flare, sucks ass. It sucks ass. I've been there with a half height scissor. I've been there on like these red ramps here. I've done exhaust on them there, and it is so sucky. However, things have changed. We've got a new unit. We're in here. Got a full rise twin scissor lift here, so it makes my life so much easier. But anyways, enough of me babbling on. The next step is you want to just give us a wee shake. Make sure it's not going to snap any attack welds, which it shouldn't. And then I'm going to come up here, going to remove these two bolts, get the centre rear exhaust section off, and then obviously the back bolt section. And then what that allows to do is it allows us to weld right round seamlessly, no issues, no blows at the top, nothing's missed, you can check everything. You're actually getting a solid weld on it, and then also what I'll probably do is I'll give the exhaust a wee buff with the with the orbital sander while it's off. And that's essentially how you hit your V-band. It's straightforward, it's relatively easy if you know how to weld, you can weld in a V-band. And as long as you've got something to cut the exhaust, it's super easy. So what we're going to do now is, as I say, just rip all this off, get it all cleaned up, get that welded on, and here we go. So after you've welded all the two V-bands, or two sides of the V-band should I say, you can either choose to buff the welds down, or you can just leave them. I'm going to choose to leave mine because I actually really like the look of my welds. I'm not going to buff them flat, I'm not going to touch them, I'm just going to leave them like that, and it also keeps the strength in them. I'm not saying buffing them down there's not any strength in it, because there still is, but I just prefer to leave them like that. I like my welds, and they're also stronger, so it doesn't really matter to me. Also, you might be thinking to yourself, like, oh, why don't you just cut that flange off while you've got the exhaust off, you can just weld that on because it's just a straight bit. Didn't ever do that. Didn't ever do that. Do one bit at a time. So if you're wanting to start at the back, start at the front, start in the middle, it doesn't really matter that much. You probably should always start at the front, work your way back. My experience, as long as you're good at what you do, it doesn't really matter. So I've started at the back, obviously, and I'm going to do the centre next. So as I say, you might go, well, why not just do the centre one while you've got it off? And I'll tell you why, because you could cut that off, and you could cut this, and you could tack that on there, and you could tack that there, you put it up, and everything's out of line. Didn't do that, didn't be that guy. I've tried it, I've tried speeding up the process, tried cheating, like hacking, life hacking, exhaust hacking, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Just didn't do it. Take your time, there's no rush, just do it properly if you're going to do it. So I'm going to clean all this, I'm going to orbital sand it off so that it all looks nice and fresh. Obviously there's a big fucking scuff mark where I've obviously bloated it off, sorry. But didn't rush it. I'm going to buff this up. You can sit and watch it if you want, if no, skip like 20 or 30 seconds. But I'm going to make my exhaust look well cool. if you're going to sand your exhaust, spare some time, because it takes ages. I mean, it looks much better. But that is literally how you weld a V-band onto your exhaust. Cut the old section out. If for instance, like, say this is smaller on yours or it's bigger, whatever it is, obviously you need to cut away your pipe. If this is smaller, if this is bigger than your V-band, then obviously you're going to add a wee bit of pipe. Obviously very fortunate for us that it's pretty much the identical size, so it's basically just cut it right out and weld that in. But that's that done. The back box still needs a wee clean with some Autosol, get it polished up a wee bit, and then I'm just going to crack on, do this one. You can see the difference in the pipes there. It's very, very hard to get this actually looking pretty decent. It takes fucking ages. But the exhaust is looking better. There is the V-band. Obviously we're going to chop this out next. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learnt something. If you haven't, then I reckon, hope it's useful in some way. And if no, then fuck yourself, right? No, kidding on. But exhaust looking pretty decent. More or less exactly what I want it. Maybe slightly over to the right a wee bit, but aye. Well, gotta love you and leave yous. And see you in the next one.